Hi everybody, this is Olivia from the Alexandrienne channel. This video is part 2 of Behind the Art, the series that I am talking about the different media I use, why and how I use it, just various topics of behind the scenes with me. This is going to be about different media that I use, about different types of pencils, the lines they make, erasers. So if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I post a new video. Hi everybody. Today we are going to start with pencils. And no, the irony is not lost on me here because I put down use the right tool for the right job, and it's very hard to see pencil on the video. So I would say not the right tool. But in this case, I kind of have to use pencil because that's what we're talking about. So try to bear with me. The importance of this video is more about what we're talking about instead of what I'm drawing because I'm just mostly writing notes because of this. So let's go ahead and get started. The type of pencil you use makes a difference. If you're doing fine art, you want a good quality fine art pencil. But the kind of art that we're doing here is a lot different. You're going to use the pencil, but then you're going to go over it with a marker or something else. So you're going to erase the pencil. So it's not important to have this wonderful quality fine art pencil. Okay? But you do want a pencil that feels good in your hand and that the lead or graphite is consistent. Some pencils feel scratchy and the lines come out inconsistent. It does not feel good in your hand. And that's very important. You need a pencil that feels good and makes a nice, consistent line. And the only way to find out is by trial and error. Try it and see how it feels to you. And if it doesn't feel right, try a different brand or a different width of lead. And you want to make for sure that the line it makes is dark enough for you. Some come out very light. You just have to, like I said, trial and error. Find the one that feels good, makes a nice consistent line. And the erasers, by the way, they count too. I have found some pencils that just make beautiful lines and the eraser doesn't erase or it tears up the paper. So if you find a pencil that you really do like and the eraser's terrible, get a different eraser or switch it out altogether. What I have learned over the years for me personally is that I like a pencil that's got a thick lead and I use a pink pearl eraser. If the eraser on the pencil itself is good, I will use that too. But I always have my pink pearl as a backup. It does a great job. It erases thoroughly and does not tear up the paper. Now we're going to take a break for a minute and I'll be right back. I wanted to mention that on Patreon, I've started one of the benefits that I call the time capsule. And what that is various art that I've done recently, all the way to years ago. But it's very new to a lot of people, including me. I didn't have time to put it all up on my site. But let's get back to what we were talking about, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the new time capsule in just a few minutes. Well, I hope you enjoyed my very first commercial ever. Thanks for your tolerance and patience with that. Now, back to what we were talking about. The erasers are very important, just as important as the pencil, because if it doesn't work right, well, all your pencil lines are going to show through, and that's not okay. And onto this pencils, you can see that I've made just some wiggly lines to show you some of the different results. Like the first one was good, the second one, see how light it came out, and the other two are fine except for the very last pencil. I love the lead, but the eraser is absolutely horrible. So, you know, it's one of those, if I'm going to use that, I have to use a pink pearl. Or Like I said before, just switch it out. And now let's talk a little bit about markers. We're not going to spend a lot of time on them, but a little bit. The one I'm using now, it is a very nice quality. However, because I use watercolor, I found out that when I put the watercolor on top of it, it bled, which wasn't okay. So I ended up doing a lot of research, but this was a while back. Things might have changed now. And what I found, if I wanted it to not bleed, I had to use a Sharpie. And because of that, I've been using a Sharpie ever since. And I love them. Now it's time for our second commercial. It's really a short one though. Okay, be right back. Okay, now to tell you just a little bit more about the tier I mentioned earlier. The way it's working is at the lowest level, which is $1, you get 10 pieces of art. And if you go up to the next tier, it's 20 pieces. And if you go up to the $5 tier, it's 30 pieces of art, or one piece of art every day of the month, which I think is kind of a really neat deal. Okay, that's it. The commercial's over. But I do have to say, I had a lot of fun creating them. I got to use my art in a totally different way, which was really neat. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the markers. As I mentioned before, when I did my research, I needed to find something that did not bleed when I put watercolor onto it. But then I also found out that some of the markers bled into the paper itself, even when it was dry. So that's something you might need to look out for as well. If you try a marker and it bleeds out into the paper, that can be problematic because then you're going to have these little fuzzy edges. And if you want that, that's great. If not, you'll either have to switch paper or switch markers. And that's really it for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about pencils and markers and erasers. If you enjoyed this video and learned something, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, if you would subscribe and hit the bell notification. I hope you have a wonderful day. Much love. Talk to you again soon. Bye.